Dumped my girlfriend after I caught her lying. So me, M24, caught my girlfriend last night in her F22 lie. We had been together for 6 months and were just coming out of the honeymoon phase when I caught her. A little context: about 3 weeks into the relationship I found out she was still friends with her ex and talking regularly. I confronted her on this and I told her I wasn't comfortable staying in the relationship if she was still really good friends with her ex. I told her she was welcome to stay friends with him, but I wouldn't stay in the relationship. From the start I was honest with her about my past relationships and how I had been manipulated and abused by exes and how I had trust issues. When we spoke on the topic of her ex, she said she understood where I was coming from and that she would explain to him that they could no longer be friends. This was 100% her own decision at the time. Our relationship was fresh and she decided to choose our relationship. We spoke about boundaries and both agreed to them. Fast forward to last night. I was finishing a 12-hour shift and we had planned for me to come over to hers straight after work to see each other, as we wouldn't get a chance for nearly 2 weeks. On my last break I decided to call my now ex and it went straight to voicemail. She had turned her phone off. I got a little concerned, but she has a tendency to forget to charge her phone. I know, cause when we've spent long periods of time together in the past she would forget to charge it. Anyway, I finished my shift and was on my way to hers phone till off, all calls going to voicemail. When I arrived at her house after a 1.5-hour drive, she wasn't home. Getting concerned, I called her best friend to see if she had heard from my girlfriend. She said she would call some people and find out what was going on. I sat outside her house waiting for my girlfriend to call or come home, getting more and more concerned and beginning to panic that something bad had happened. I received a MSG from her best friend stating that my girlfriend was safe but she wouldn't be home tonight. Feeling confused about the situation, I told her friend to get my girlfriend to contact me because this behavior was unacceptable, and told her that if I didn't hear from my girlfriend I would assume the worst and the relationship would be over. In the back of my mind I knew where she was. She was at her ex's house. I left to head home on the 2-hour drive. As I reached home she finally called and tried to deny everything, saying she was at home the whole time but her car wasn't on the drive. I told her I knew she was at her ex's and we were over. She finally realized that I knew and broke the lie. She told me she was still friends with him but decided to keep quiet the whole time, going to stay at his every so often when I was working or busy with other aspects of my life. This betrayal of trust has crushed me. I still love this girl but my trust for her has gone. She still states that she's not cheated or done anything with him, they're just good friends. She wasn't even sorry for lying to me for the last few months or for bailing on our only chance to see each other. I'm absolutely heartbroken and I don't know if we can resolve this issue and get back together. Any advice on this situation would be appreciated. Did I overreact? Or am I in the right for ending the relationship because all of our family and friends are on her side currently? Edit. Just received some messages from a few of our friends saying that she's been changing her story and that they now know the truth about why we broke up, and they've apologized to me for backing her. Edit 2. Just want to thank everyone for the advice and support. It's been a rough 24 hours for me. I've been coming to terms with what's happened and trying to process everything. I have come to the decision to go fully no contact with her and have blocked her on everything, but before I did that I sent her a text saying, I hope he was worth it. I don't want to hear her response, just wanted her to know how hurt I was feeling due to the betrayal. So she would run to her ex anytime you were working or busy, then lie about it? They were friends, all right, with benefits. You did the right thing by cutting her loose. Don't look back. Move on to someone that will respect you. Never stay with a liar and a cheater. Nope. Smart for cutting your losses. There is no working this out, especially if her friends are covering for her. I would expect so too. I would have dropped her at the first knowledge that she was friends with an ex. Always bad news, bud. You had a hunch, it was right, you settled it. Now move on. You drove 2 hours to see her, which you had planned, and she ditched you for her ex, who she agreed not to see anymore. Then she ghosted you so you couldn't even find out why she wasn't there. Had her friend tell you she was going to be gone all night, and then she tried to lie and gaslight you about where she was. The lack of respect for ghosting you when you had plans is enough. Even if she was out with a girlfriend, let alone planning to spend all night with her ex who she agreed to no longer see. Anyone who hears this story and sides with her isn't your friend, and they're not trying to give you advice that will help you. You are right, please don't get back. You clearly set a boundary and she broke it. She clearly has no respect for you and not worth your time. Your ex is a liar, a manipulator, and probably a cheater. She isn't the person you were in love with. You were in love with the person you thought she was. That person doesn't exist. Let that sink in. Well done, dude. Do not waste your time with that rubbish anymore. Hope you best. She bailed on you after 2 weeks not seeing each other to stay with an ex? She lied to you and went beyond the set boundaries you both agreed on? She lied to your mutual friends about your breakup? Why are you even asking for advice? You know what to do. Eventually she will completely choose the ex over you. You are the safe bet, the plan B, the alternative option if shit goes bad with the ex-BF. You did the right thing. I wish I had done that with my current mess. Would have saved me a lot of trouble and heartache. Ladies, is this normal fantasy? My wife, 38, had been distant and acting strange in terms of our sex life, as well hiding her phone, which is what triggered me to snoop. There were other physical signs going on as well. Desperately trying to get in shape was one. I confronted her and said, something is distracting you. You're my wife, I know you very well, and you're off, so let's talk about it and figure it out, please. She said she's feeling disconnected from people, not necessarily us though. I broke down, looked at her phone in shameful regret, and read in horror as she explained to her girlfriend that she is fantasizing and touching herself daily, obsessively over her male guy friend from school who is an impeccable specimen, super successful CrossFit gym owner, going through a bad marriage. She also explained to her girlfriend in her fantasies that she told him and he said he jerked off as well. I feel as though she really did tell him this, but she's saying it was part of the fantasy, but I'm just not buying. It gets better. Or worse. She also said to her girlfriend she desires other men, questions her desire to be monogamous, and says it's okay for her to flirt and take it a little closer, but said guilt might consume her if she was physically involved. She sent this message a month ago to her girlfriend. Right around the same time she suddenly decides to start taking our oldest son to this Mont's CrossFit gym twice a week for teenage group workouts. It's not remotely close by us either. So a month went by of her taking my son to him, in which she has been solo texting this man and group texting this man and another female friend of theirs that she knows somewhat well, but it's all playful friendly banter. I think she using this to get closer. Last Saturday, she desperately wants to go out for drinks with the girl in their thread, but it's 10 p.m. and an hour away, so I said bad idea. She gets pissed off and goes to bed. She did not divulge this guy was joining them at the bar. I found out through the snoop. She said to her friend she deliberately did not tell me because of jealousy. Edit. I confronted 1 week ago and explained I snooped based on feeling that she was shady. I lost my damn mind and packed a few things up, exploded, and left. An epic scene I am ashamed of. I also told her father I'm done. He was livid as well. They asked me to come talk to her and understood my anger. She admitted the man was super hot, and it's all fantasy, she's extremely attracted to him, etc. Could never cross the line. I came home and we talked, and now you're up to real time. She is trying to hurry my healing by saying, you keep asking the same questions, can we put this behind us? Think counseling saves this? Here's my issues and please tell me I'm just insecure and need therapy. 1. She has a one-on-one thread with a married man she creams about daily too. He confides in her about his marriage, and although I didn't read anything sexual between them, it could have been deleted. But she constantly builds him up and says what an inspiration he is and she will be there for him if he needs to talk, etc. 3. She goes there twice a week. My son is present but still, he's not always there, and she leaves to shop for an hour. 4. She lied about that night and he was going to be there. 5. Her lengthy perverted thoughts are killing me, but I get those aren't my business and I made it mine. 6. Doesn't want to find a new gym to go to. TL. Doctor, I snooped on a gut feeling. My wife is texting a man that she is physically over-attracted to, and also seeing him a couple times a week at his gym, but claims that since it's an old friend it shouldn't matter and that her fantasies are hers. You're asking if this is normal, and I'll tell you. I would never do this to my boyfriend, nor would accept something like this. Cheating doesn't have to be physical. I would totally consider this cheating and a deal breaker. I personally don't think she is respecting you. On the contrary, she is completely disrespecting what I think marriage should be and giving you lots of reasons not to trust her. However, it is your opinion and decision that counts, and it's all about the way you feel. May I add, it's extremely, let's say, tacky. She uses your son. Ew. Is this a normal fantasy? Your wife doesn't have a fantasy, she has an entire second life. One she is creating without you. This is not a fantasy, let alone a normal one. That's a full-on emotional affair, and if it hasn't gone physical yet, it's only due to missed opportunity. If that not cheating and unlimited disrespect, I don't know what are. They are both being inappropriate. Your feelings are valid. She has zero respect for you. Leave her and cut your losses. I am okay with the fantasy, the going out for drinks with the object and not telling you about it, not so much. To me that is emotionally cheating. My husband smashed my phone because it was ringing while we were being intimate. Me, F26, and my husband, M33, have been married for 8 months. We both work long hours. He's a doctor and I work at an advertisement company. We've been finding it difficult lately to spend time together doing things we want, either going out or spending time at home. Due to my husband's work, he's been feeling so much stress, especially in the past couples of months. He began hating working night shifts after we got married. He complains about not seeing me enough and missing me a lot. This affected our intimacy as well. We would barely find time to be intimate, and it happens when either of us are both exhausted, so we'd end up not enjoying ourselves to the fullest. My husband would become moody, especially when he gets off work. He'd sometimes end up lashing out over minor stuff and start silly arguments, but I try my best to be understanding since work can be stressful and he might be experiencing a lot of pressure from work. On to the original fight. Few days ago in the evening around 7-ish p.m. my husband got home from work after covering his 12-hour shift and found me doing some paperwork in the bedroom. I put work assignment aside and gave him massage to get him to distress and unwind a bit. We ended up having sex shortly after I gave him few minutes of massage. My phone was at the nightstand right beside the bed. It started ringing suddenly. We ignored it for few seconds, but then my husband reached over to the nightstand next to him, grabbed my phone and harshly threw it on the floor, causing the screen to get smashed. For the record, this wasn't a one-time thing. He did this before few months ago when my phone suddenly rang while we were intimate. I freaked out after seeing my phone screen broken. He tried to get me stop looking at it and deal with it later, after we finish, but I pushed him off me and got out of bed to look at the damage he caused. I lashed out him asking why he threw my phone on the floor and smashing its screen. He didn't want to discuss it, then, and wanted me to come back to bed, but I refused. He explained that it was ringings at the wrong time and it got on his nerve, so without thinking he just threw it on the floor. He said it just happened, he didn't mean for it to break knowing we have hard floor. I told him I couldn't take how he constantly breaks my stuff like that. He said he was stressed from work and that it wasn't big deal and I can easily get the screen fixed. Then he tried to blame me for not turning it off, even though I was using it for my work assignment. We argued about it for few minutes, then he went to get a shower saying I was stressing him out a lot more than his work, and then went out to meet a friend so he could probably vent to him about how I ruined the evening for him. I couldn't help but cry because I had an ongoing work on my phone and my laptop doesn't work, so I could use it instead. So what happiness affected my work as well, which is completely unacceptable. He keeps saying it was my fault for not turning it off and keeps saying I made a huge deal out of it. Stress at work shouldn't be an excuse to have violent tendencies. That's ridiculous. I think the man needs either a vacation or therapy. That's super toxic and crazy. And you said this isn't the first time? Are you sure you want to be married to this man? Not only is he breaking your property, he's probably going to make you pay for a new phone, screen fix, but he's also making you think it's your fault. That's abusive. Edit to add. He's affecting your work, you need to rethink this relationship. Good luck, I hope you get out of this situation, you deserve much better than this. Yeah, my ex smashed my phone with a hammer once, the next time he wanted to break something he went straight for me. This guy is abusive, get out now before it gets worse. His violence will only get worse. Have a plan for when it does. Your husband is violent and sexually controlling and you're not safe in this marriage. You need to make a safe exit plan and leave. Be safe if they will smash a phone to make a point. Violence isn't far. Next it's holes in the wall or dinner plates, then it's you. Stay safe. I hate the "it's all you" attitude. He does sound like a dick, with no empathy to your feelings. Doesn't matter if it's because of work. Honestly. Get out. Does he ever smash his own stuff? If not, then he can control his temper, he just doesn't care to do it when the object of his temper belongs to you. Be very, very careful here. I see a lot of language in your post that suggests you have minimized and justified his anger outbursts for a while now. Do you mind taking the quiz at Love is Respect? It's very quick. Should I really invite my uncle who terrorizes me anytime I'm around him? Edit. Invite to my wedding. My uncle is ultra-right. If he could have been there January 6th, he would. When the election happened and we all know who was victorious, my uncle messaged me on Instagram saying, "I hope you get what's coming, communist," which really pissed me off. He doesn't even follow me, he went out of his way to do this. I responded stating, "This comment really upset me, especially since it came right after I had to have grandma convince me to let you come to my wedding. The message you sent me was incredibly childish and uncalled for. You are my uncle, you're supposed to be part of my support circle and help me grow. But when you act like this, it doesn't make me feel like you really care about me. You've seen me grow up yet you're threatening me over an election and other political views? I never threatened you, ever. If you ever want to be part of my support circle again, leave the politics at the table from now on. I don't want to be called names except my own. I don't want to worry about getting mad or crying around you from your actions when we see each other in person. I just want to be accepted and loved like years ago before all this bullshit." He read it. I immediately blocked him once I knew he read it. A few months later we had Easter together. I had already been fully stabbed for the safety of myself and others, so I went and saw my family. Pre-Delta. He was there at my grandmother's and he came up to me, got in my bubble, and asked me why I was there and why I wasn't so afraid to BW around everyone because I am a sheep to him. I said nothing back and ran out of the house and told my mom and everyone I was leaving. I was bawling my eyes out. I was already incredibly anxious about being around him, and he ruined our relationship after I told him how I felt. I decided then and there he will not be invited to my wedding. I haven't spoken to him since, but almost my entire family is mad at me for not inviting him. Not only does his existence near me give me crippling anxiety, he hates everything I stand for. I have many different people coming and being party of my wedding. I don't want him harassing my friends and my fiancé's friends for their skin color, or if they're part of the LGBTQ community, but a lot of my friends are in those groups. My cousins and family said they'd keep him in line, but he threw away our relationship over something so shitty. I couldn't see him holding back against people he doesn't know. I don't know what to do. My family said he would be devastated if I don't invite him, but I don't feel safe and I'd be devastated if he hurt any of my friends. Respectfully, fuck your family's feelings. You were polite, mature, and well written in setting your boundaries. At no point did you attack him, even after he attacked you. If it's going to cause you 1 minute of anxiety on your wedding day, he should not be invited. Your fiancé will likely back you even if your family doesn't. My family is similar to yours, and I feel for you. But be strong and stand firm, you've got this. Your uncle is an ass. Don't invite him. Your family will just have to deal with it. Make sure there's someone you trust on door duty with a photo of him so they deny him entry. It's your wedding, your guest list, your choice. If Uncle Jackass can't behave himself in a normal situation, he sure won't at a special occasion. My cousins and family said they'd keep him in line. Based on the 0 examples you've given of when this has been executed successfully, this plan is rubbish. Forget this guy, and if it's enough of a big deal for any other family members to boycott, then you either get to use that seat to invite someone who cares about your wedding day experience or you get to save that dollar. Win-win. My family said he would be devastated if I don't invite him. Well, those are the consequences of his actions, behaviors, and choices. Nah, your uncle sounds like a complete cunt. If you choose not to invite him, simply explain that it's a consequence for his poor behavior. What I wonder is why your family refuses to stand up for you here. Your uncle is actively bullying you and ostracizing you, and from what you've said they seem to sit there and do nothing about it. You told your uncle that he was supposed to be part of your support circle, but it doesn't sound like the rest of your family are in your camp either, and I think you should confront them about the lack of support they've given you. So he's devastated. Who cares? You set very clear boundaries. He crossed them. Just remind family how he has treated you. Then remind them if they take his side, they are hurting you, too. Fewer people at the wedding. More cake for you. Do not invite him and make sure the venue has someone at the door. Provide a picture of him, to keep him from entering. Any family member who has a problem with it can also stay home. Why would your family think he'd be devastated? And why do they expect you to care if he was? Those 2 points are very confusing to me. They absolutely won't keep him in line. They didn't the last 2 times.